Sensei Alex Kakuyo, North American Correspondent for Buddhistdoor Global. The title of today's talk is Grab an Extra Blanket. Before we get into that, please subscribe and hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified when I post talks in the future. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button, that'd be great too. People are often surprised when I tell them that our rabbits live outdoors year-round. This is especially true because in this part of the country during the winter, temperatures can get well below zero. However, we have a few tricks up our sleeve that make it work. First, the rabbits are very cold tolerant, able to live comfortably in temperatures down well into the 40s. When it gets below that, I put several inches of straw bedding in their hutch. This provides a layer of insulation. It also helps them retain warmth. In addition to that, I put a blanket over top of the hutch and then a tarp over the blanket. This provides some additional layers of both waterproofing and warmth that again help them stay warm, even when it gets especially cold outside. That said, when it drops well below zero, I'll go out and I'll put an extra blanket over their hutch. So they have the straw bedding at the bottom, they have 2 blankets over the hutch, and then they have a tarp over all of that. Now, do they need that extra blanket when it's especially cold, or would they be fine without it? I don't know, but it makes me feel a little bit more comfortable that they have the extra protection, and so far they haven't complained. I bring this up because we as Buddhists sometimes also need an extra blanket to protect us from the cold of living in samsara. We might think that this practice should make us bulletproof, that we should never feel sadness or anger or fear, but this simply isn't the case. Buddhist practice is not meant to make us unfeeling robots. Rather, it's meant to give us the tools we need to cope with a cold, unhealthy world. In the same way that rabbits need straw and blankets and tarps to protect them from the cold, we need the practice of meditation, sutra study, chanting, etc. in order to protect us from the cold of everyday life. If we're feeling stressed, if we're feeling sad, if we're feeling angry, that simply means we need to grab an extra blanket. Spend a few more minutes in front of our altar doing those traditional Buddhist practices. Bowing in front of the Buddha, meditating, chanting, studying sutras. As we do this, as we give ourselves that extra layer of insulation, that extra layer of protection from the world, we'll be able to cope with our suffering more skillfully, and we'll get over it more quickly. Thus, we'll experience less harm and will cause less harm to the people around us as well. It doesn't matter how cold the world gets, Buddhism is always there to keep us warm. All we have to do is grab an extra blanket. Amitabha.